Hello. I'm going to talk about the LibreOffice project and how the community is working to make the project sustainable over medium long term. Uh, some uh, some thoughts about the open source sustainability. Um, the LibreOffice project was born on 2010, and since then the open source ecosystem has evolved, and there have been discussions about the relationship with businesses using open source software without contributing back to open source project. The In 2014, the discovery of the Heartbleed bug was a turning point, and it raised the issue of open source sustainability. In 2016, Nadia Egbal published the paper Roads and Bridges, the unseen labor behind our digital infrastructure, which was a sponsored work. And it's interesting because it's a lengthy analysis of the situation. But this didn't stop the evolution of the discussion. And in 2019, Dries Buitert, the leader of the Drupal project and the owner of the Akuya company, published the blog post Balancing Makers and Takers to Scale and Sustain Open Source. There have been different reactions to that, and I think it's important to discuss a little bit and to mention a little bit some of the ideas of Dries on the topic. What he says is that there are basically three models for scaling and sustaining open source project: self-governance, privatization, and centralization. All these models aim to reduce the failures, but request open source community to monitor and, in a sense, reward and sanction what is happening in the community, to push the open source sustainability concept. And of course, there is not one single answer to the issue of sustainability for open source, and the open source community would probably benefit from making experiments and discussion and analyze licenses and produce different incentive models about that. Dries also talks about the idea of organizing or systematizing open source contribution, but this if this happens, it would go against the idea of open source, and therefore it's important. What Dries is saying and suggesting is that it's important that each community makes an analysis of the situation, makes an analysis of what happens in the community, what happens in the project, and finds a way of sustaining the project itself over long term. And he then defines what he says, what it says are the open source makers and takers. there are companies that were born out of open source, and they strongly believe and invest in the community. With the help of these companies, open source has grown and has changed software itself for the benefit of the community at large. And these companies are called makers. And now that the adoption of open source is widespread, there are many companies, from startups to big techs, that are using open source and are making money out of using open source without contributing back to the project. And Rees calls these companies takers. The difference between the two groups is not always 100% clear, but there is a substantial difference. Makers are investing in growing their business and the open source project. Takers are focused on growing their business without caring, without minding about the open source projects they are relying on, and in some cases they are heavily relying on. So the takers take the benefit of makers' contribution and of course of all the individual volunteers that are working around open source software. And ultimately, takers could disrupt makers. And the problem is that if this happens, the only way makers can protect themselves is by investing more in their proprietary offering and less in the open source project. And this, of course, in some cases creates risk for the open source project. So to survive, and at the end, makers have to behave like takers. So takers are arming open source project. And this is something that is an issue for most open source projects and is an issue for large open source projects such as LibreOffice. Then there are toxic solutions that are not based on the open source definition. I don't think this is the right place to discuss this, and I totally understand that there are many people that do not consider these solutions are toxic for open source, but this is my strong opinion on the topic. I'm not saying with this judgment that the open source definition should not be analyzed and should probably be updated, but it should be analyzed and updated based on consensus, not just because someone wants to change it or someone finds the open source definition not good for his needs. Let's now switch to Office suites. Office suites are mature products. They are commodities for users. And as commodities, the price of Office suite might be an issue. Although they are a mature product, it is now clear that Office suite will not decline because there have been discussions about the Office suite being obsolete, but the reality is that if you want to create real contents, you need a product, you need a software on your desktop. A software on mobile or on the cloud may be good enough for editing or creating small documents, but when you have to create large documents, large presentations, very large spreadsheets, and when I'm mentioning this means documents where there is a huge amount of content, then you need something on your desktop. And the fact that the market is still there is these figures are provided by analysts, and they say that in around 2020 the market was $25 billion, and in 2025 the market will exceed $31 billion. So although the growth is not huge, yearly growth is estimated at being 5%, the market is still quite a large market, and is a large market especially for some companies. The personal productivity market has changed in the same way. Before 95, documents were printed to be shared. Between 95 to 2005, there was an evolution from the sharing printout to sharing static digital documents, PDF. And there was also the birth of the first cloud solution for personal productivity from Google and Microsoft. The business behind this product was different, but let's just look at the characteristic of the product. These were the first Office suite based on the cloud. Between 2005 and 2010, something important happened, because documents format were standardized, and the growth of OpenOffice.org created an alternative, a real open source alternative to Microsoft Office. And the alternative was also based on a different standard document format. And the reality is that the ODF is the only true standard document format, while Office OpenXML, which was developed by Microsoft as an alternative to ODF, is a pseudo-standard open document format. And the reality is that that format has been developed to maintain the lock-in over the next year. So after 2010, the fact that Office OpenXML was part of the lock-in strategy of Microsoft lock-in strategy became quite clear, and several freeware Office suite entered the market. Some cloud-based, some desktop-based. No one was open source as LibreOffice. LibreOffice was born in 2010 as a reaction to the fact that OpenOffice was at risk. After 10 years, we estimate to to have around 210 million users worldwide. Not all of them use only LibreOffice. Many of them use also a second Office suite, which may be desktop, cloud, mobile, but in any case, let's say that the numbers say that the 200 million user is a reasonable one. Over the years, there have been over 350 million download of LibreOffice, and this, of course, is and the number of users is a percentage of these downloads. In terms of project model, LibreOffice wanted to be independent from a single company, so the reason why the group of founders created also the Document Foundation is because at the time there was no foundation that could represent this the business model of having a community-based project with a strong ecosystem of companies developing and making money out of that open source project. So LibreOffice has a large number of stakeholders, community members have a high personal involvement, and for them the project has a high value. Users do not have almost any personal involvement, and do not give a high value to the project. In terms of numbers, developers that are paid by ecosystem companies provide around 68% of all activities on the source code, and volunteers provide 28%. If you look at donations, 90% are from individuals and 10% from small to medium and medium businesses. And based on estimates, less than 5% of LibreOffice Enterprise users is contributing in any way to the project, and contribution may be buying a product service from ecosystem companies, buying developers' time and to solve bugs, to develop new features, to create new specific flavors of LibreOffice. So, as I said, we developed the foundation because there was no foundation and no project backing the vision of LibreOffice founders. And after 10 years, we can say that we have reached our objective. The LibreOffice brand name is a rather strong one, and it represents the community and the ecosystem, and there is a large number of people active in both areas. This gives you a visual representation of the current situation. We have a large community with a large number of volunteers and a large number of ecosystem companies, and many people of the ecosystem contribute, which are paid by the ecosystem, contribute as volunteers, and many volunteers contribute to the project in a way that makes adds value to the product of the ecosystem. If we look at the last 2 years, this is the number of how the development was spread between enterprise volunteers and the Document Foundation. If we look at all the contribution, we see that there is around 10% of core contributors that is producing around 80% of everything. Of course, let make some comments to these. So 68 of contribution are from ecosystem companies, and developers paid by ecosystem companies are around 40. So a very large portion of the 78% of core contribution is paid by ecosystem companies. This means that without contribution from the ecosystem, we would have issues in keeping up with user expectation, with what user expects from LibreOffice. So who pays LibreOffice development? We can say that 68% is paid by the customers of ecosystem companies, 28% is paid by volunteers and by their willingness to contribute to the project. The community is growing. The ecosystem, unfortunately, is not growing as much as the community. So after 10 years in 2020 and 2021 also, we had a large discussion in the project, and we relaunched the marketing strategy to guarantee the sustainability of the open source project, of the LibreOffice project over time. LibreOffice today is available for desktop, cloud, and mobile platforms as a native support for the best standard document format, as the best-in-class support of Microsoft Office documents, and supports many other legacy proprietary formats. We think that today LibreOffice is the only viable open source alternative to Microsoft Office and sits at the crossroad of many open source ecosystems. LibreOffice's unique selling proposition is to be the best open source Office suite ever. We have a strong community and a strong ecosystem. We provide a tool for interoperability and compatibility with proprietary document format. We provide the best of open source because it's a free software with enterprise focus offerings. So the objective is to leverage the strength of our brand to educate users and especially organizations about the values and the needs of a self-sustaining free open source project, to find the right balance between the free product and the enterprise supported product, to underline the peculiarities of the LibreOffice project. So in the next 10 years, and we have started and we will accelerate the process in the future, we will use the LibreOffice technology ingredient brand to stress the advantages of LibreOffice over other Office suite. We want to reduce the perception that the Document Foundation is a software vendor, is an open source project, is not a software vendor, and communicate together with ecosystem companies to make it easier for users to understand which is the best LibreOffice version for their needs. What is LibreOffice technology? LibreOffice technology is the result of 10 years of development, provides the same processing engines for all modules. It's based on a clean and refactored source code, as a focus on code quality and consistency, provides easy and extensive APIs. So LibreOffice in 10 years moved from a single desktop product to an open source platform for personal productivity, tightly integrated on the desktop, mobile, and cloud. we have published a web page where we explain all of this, and I would like to underline the importance of and the differences between LibreOffice tight integration. We have a common productivity engine which reflects on the consistency of documents. What is different is just the user interface, which is different and optimized for the different platforms. So again, we have a common productivity engine. If you write a document, a text document on the desktop or on the cloud, you will use exactly the same productivity engine. This means that the document at the end will be exactly the same. There is a strong consistency, and this happens also on mobile. Which is the difference between the other Office suites? Because using a single productivity engine is not a trivial achievement. They took the easy way of developing a different engine for each application and for each platform. So what is at the end? You have a puzzle of formats, engine formats, and user interfaces, which may be optimized for the platform, but are not optimized for compatibility and interoperability. If you develop a document on one platform, that same document may have compatibility and interoperability issues if you open it with the same software on a different platform, and will probably have some of these issues if you open it with a different software on a different platform. So LibreOffice went from product to platform. The steps to achieve this was to improve development resources, clean and refactor the code, improve performances and user interface, use tools to improve code quality and security, and develop APIs and macro libraries. Also to evolve the Open Document standard, which in the process went from the version 1.2 to version 1.3, and now developers are starting to work on version number 1.4. LibreOffice technology-based software is available on the desktop, is available as an enterprise-focused offering, long-term supported version, is available on the cloud, is available for Android, is available for iOS and Apple Store, is available on the Windows Store. The product may have a different name, but is always based on the same productivity engine. So look for products that are based on LibreOffice technology, because that is today the important asset of all this software. To differentiate the software on the desktop, we have added the community tag to the product released by the Document Foundation, which is supported by volunteers, is ideal for individuals, small and medium-sized business, and non-profits and NGOs. Then there is a family of enterprise LibreOffice enterprise products. These products may have different name, but they share this characteristic. They are professionally supported, and they are optimized for a production environment in enterprise and large organizations. So if you are working in an enterprise or a large organization and you are using LibreOffice and you are not using the version which is offered by one of the ecosystem companies, you are not supporting the project. You are not doing anything good to the project. I invite you to talk to one of the ecosystem companies and ask for the best option for your need. Again, this is what we see the difference between version of users. Of course, betas and release candidates are developed for internal use of the community. Then we have a community version, and then we have an enterprise version. Current LibreOffice users are community members. They are individuals and small and medium businesses support the project with donations, and then there is a too large number of free riders. Universities, many government organizations. I would say that there are several universities, more government organizations, and a large number of enterprises. Enterprises are using LibreOffice to save money, but they are not giving anything to the project, and this is not the right attitude. Then luckily we have some enterprises that purchase the product. There are some universities, some enterprises, some government organization. We see probably a slight increase of government organization. We are not yet seeing an increase in enterprises. So LibreOffice Enterprise is important that users get familiar with the concept of LibreOffice Enterprise, because this is what we see as our real offering for the professional productivity market. If you are producing documents, if you are producing large documents or documents where the contents are strategic for your companies, you should deploy a LibreOffice Enterprise product. We have to support LibreOffice Enterprise, we have a LibreOffice in Business web page. We have improved the LibreOffice download page. We have created a LinkedIn page for LibreOffice Enterprise. We are relaunching and implementing the LibreOffice certification project. We have specific business-oriented domains, and we will invest more in this area in the future. This is the LibreOffice in Business webpage. This is the LibreOffice download webpage. It's not the latest version, but it reproduces the layout of the latest version. And just by adding that blue banner, we have increased 10 times the number of enterprises clicking on that banner and ending up in the LibreOffice for Enterprise webpage. As I said, the number of enterprises that are buying the product is still not large enough, but we hope that with this campaign we will be able to increase this number and make this number sustainable for the future of LibreOffice. This is the LinkedIn page. This is the certification page. We are going to change the website, so the look and feel of these pages will change probably during 2022, but contents will stay there. It's important we are providing storytelling tools to LibreOffice community members to help them when they present LibreOffice, We have several LibreOffice slide deck. We have presentation materials, notes, and speech outlines in the form of videos to integrate the talks in their slide deck. We use a consistent message to present LibreOffice technology, LibreOffice community, and the LibreOffice enterprise software. And we organize webinars to present the story and help the people to become familiar with the slide deck. So summarizing the action item, we are investing on LibreOffice technology with a white paper, announcement, a website section, and slide deck. We are supporting LibreOffice Enterprise with a dedicated web page, improved download page, LinkedIn company page, business website, and the education campaign. Talks at events. We will be publishing blog post. We are developing a bibliography and webography about the open source sustainability. We will start interviewing people and releasing podcasts with the opinions of people on open source sustainability and LibreOffice sustainability. And then we are working to improve the certification program. We will publish tips and tricks provided by certified professionals. We will interview certified professionals, and we will organize a quarterly new webinar promoting LibreOffice certification. All of this will happen. Some of these actions have already happened, some are in progress, some will happen in 2022. Thank you for listening me, and I hope you have some questions for me to provide additional insight on this project and this program. Thank you again.